Welcome to Adventures in Stereo Recording. The fix is in session, 22nd of May 2024. And a shout out to Mac and to X. I actually went to the trouble of listening to this last time. Made some changes to the audio. It's your boy MJeb. I was going recently through our back catalogue putting together an instrumental album, and I pulled out a bunch of stuff to consolidate into the guide track Greenhouse. And I found a song that we never finished for Rogue State. And thanks to the wonderful Mr. Ben at Everland Studios, whose backup is excellent, I actually have the stems. So over the next couple of very relaxed sessions, I'm going to take you through from scratch this time, seeing what we can make out of this song. Alright, here we go. We're going in. Alright, what we got? Okay, well that is not exactly appealing, so what we've got, we have some acoustic guitar. Let's just see. Whoa. Okay, that's Mr. Rosenthal. So this is from 2017. And I've got myself a nice cup of decaf, because I drink decaf like Mac does. Alright, this is drab as hell. First thing let's do, and I started doing this before I actually decided to go back to scratch, and let's start making things easy to see. So put all of the guitars together. So I'll be able to see those. Track colour, one random colour, all the drum stuff here. Alright, we'll make all that one colour. And in this one, tuba. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Yeah, it's a long story. It's a long story. I got plenty of time to tell you this, so why am I worrying about saying it's a long story? Here we go. One random colour. Yes, well, we decided we'd have a bit of a horn section, and instead of the traditional stuff, because we were asking mates of Jim Conway and Mick Conway's and Marcus Holden, and we had a very lovely lass come along and play tuba. Yeah, it's some freaky deaky stuff here. This is... Anyway, so the first thing I'll do is, we're going to have to do some basic stuff. Now that we can see what component parts we've got, we're going to... Okay, what we're going to do is, we're going to do some basic setup work on the channels, and then we are going to start mixing the drums. Now, I don't like the vocals in this. This is one of the reasons I think the song never made it to the album, is that I think it was a bit too dark for the time. It was already a fairly dark album. It was 2017. We'd got back from the fourth US tour in 2016, and everyone was absolutely shagged out. And so we made this really weird, introspective album pair. Produced some good songs, but this one I think was just a little bit too much, but it's perfect for the times now. So let's start by putting in some channel filters. So recently I've been using these desk virtualizations, and let's see what I've used recently. I've used this Lindell 80 channel plug. Unfortunately, I haven't quite worked out how to put that onto the screen so that you can see it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it onto every item here. I think Bennett already started to mix this, and what a tribute to the man that he actually has all of the stems still stuck away in his archives. Alright, now once again this stuff is not particularly exciting, but what we're doing is we are emulating a desk. So normally the sounds would be coming through some sort of, well, I mean, they call it a desk. And because we're just using computers these days, instead of having a physical mixing desk with lots of knobs and slides and bits on it, we pretend to have one using these very clever pretend tools. And they actually sound pretty damn good. So, and I think a big shout out to Pete Doherty, who was urging me to take a look at this years ago, but I went, nah. But I guess that's what happens when COVID strikes and you spent a lot of time sitting in front of your keyboard, realising you can't get to the studio. You might as well learn the stuff. All right, so now, even though we haven't applied a specific filtering to the sound, what we've done is we put each of these things into a desk emulator, which you probably now can't see. So what we're going to do is let's have a listen to what we have. So this is all together. Here we go. Whoa, okay, that's everything too loud. All right, so the first thing we'll do is let's go and take the drums and the guitars, and let's bring the guitars down. And let's just start with drums and the bass. Solo those guys. Okay, there is an acoustic guitar in there somewhere. There it is. You, mister, are a guitar. I can tell. You've got to go to the guitar group. Go be purple. Mr. Purple guitar colour. Purplish. There you go. Hang out with your purple mates. All right. So now we just want the bass and the bass and the drums. Okay, here we go. How have I got another guitar in there? Because I failed to do the... Oh, that's pretty dry. Yeah, that's all right. That's Bill on bass. Quite a good sound actually by itself. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so I'm not hating that at all. So let's now just start messing with it. So that is bass. So because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just clicking the buttons that they give me on these filter things, and you know, God bless us. We'll see what happens next. Alright, so let's just listen to the bass by itself. Oh, no, go away, Mr. Drums. Alright, let's have a listen to the bass. Okay, now that's with an overdrive. Now let's get rid of that overdrive. I just had a default. Let's try the default bus setting. So if you think about it this way, this channel, this thing here, we're pretending it's going through a mixing desk, and that mixing desk has its own kind of vibe and adds a flavour to it. So we're going to start with the flavour on the mixing desk, so to speak. So here it is without anything at all, just to show you. So it goes like this. Just turn off the effects. Thank you. And wow. I mean, that's nothing wrong with it, but now what we're going to do is we're going to put it into a desk and colour it with the noise that the desk has, plus the equalisation or EQing on the desk. And for those that don't know what EQing means, it means adjusting the frequencies of any given audio track so that you can hear some bits more or less. Oh, solo. Okay, so the minute we put that through the desk, it suddenly sounds richer and... yeah, it's all right. Okay, well, that's all in pretty good order. This song obviously had been worked on a bit. I don't know why it didn't make it, other than it just didn't have the right vibe at the time. It's interesting. Some of the songs don't come out when you think they will. Brave With Your Heart took, Brave With Your Heart took almost 7 years, I think. All right, let's go and put some EQ on this. So we are now moving into adding. When I learn how to do all the fancy stuff so you can see it, I'll start adding things and telling these guys, and I'm using their product. I think I meant to shill for it or something, but until then, all right, so what we're now going to do is we're going to try adding some EQ to the bass just to bring it out a little more and just give it a basic thing. So we'll try the boring basic bass. Here we go. All right, cool. We're not going to get too freaky deaky for right now. And because I won't bore you with doing all of this, what I'm going to do is a little clever, little tricky, smart thing here. I'm going to pop all of these drums into a sub-channel. So effectively I'm virtualizing. That was freaky to say. So what we'll do is we'll put the EQ here, the equalizing there, rather than in each of the individual channels, just so we can start by getting a rough vibe. All right, so here we're going to go for, it's an acoustic, so this is Teo playing it, so it's live. So we'll go for it once again, a basic drum bus, and I'll put a channel thing on it as well. So I'll be able to show you the differences in sound between channel strip, no channel strip, EQing, no EQing. All right, so here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take it all off. We're going to solo the drums. So I get rid of all the EQing stuff, and this is what it sounds like. Just raw out of the studio as recorded by Ben. Okay, why have I managed to also get the bass? So let's get rid of the bass. Okay, thank you. Try again. Just the drums. He's like a machine. Theo Vander is like a drumming machine, except he's Dutch. Okay, you imagine the Terminator with a Dutch accent? I'm going to get into trouble here. All right, so let's try turning on. The first thing, let's go into the effects. Let's turn them on, and let's turn on just the channel strip, just to see the difference it makes with and without the channel strip. So once again, without. All right, now let's do it with the channel strip enabled. Oh, actually it was. Oops, I'll try that again. So this is without the channel strip. All right, with the channel strip. Not too much of a difference here. All right, let's add the really basic EQing. Okay, so it's taken the edge off the snare. All right, let's put all the other instruments. Although, you see, because Ben's recorded this, he's already put it through his own equivalent of what I'm doing in the virtualization. But, of course, in his case, he was actually using real gear with like actual plugs and so forth. All right, so now I've got the very basic EQ on, except for the fact that I've added an additional, probably unnecessary plug-in strip here. So let's just see how we sound all together. Now, knowing my drummer, there are two things he likes. Well, actually, there's a list of things he likes, but we won't go into all of those. We're trying to keep our ratings here. But he likes a snappy snare, and he does like a big kick drum. So let's go into the kick drum, and let's start doing some individual EQing. So we'll see if this makes any difference. So let's go to our kick drum, in and out. Okay, so I got a bunch of other stuff in there. Okay. Alright, so what I'm doing now, that's the sub folder for that one. I don't want that. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make the kick bigger. See if we can actually get that a little bit punchier. So that's basic drum bus. So we're going to go to kick drum. Let's try this. I mean, one of the things that you're doing is you're getting a rough idea of what you want the song to sound like. And I think knowing this song from having listened to the guide track, it's somewhere in the Hey St. Peter mould, I think. So it wants to be a little bit edgy. So let's have a listen to kick drum with a bit more thump in it. Ah, that's better. Now, what I could do is I could put a gate on it to get rid of the other stuff, which I may well do, but sometimes trying to make everything clean and nice, I don't know. I mean, it's a live band and he's a live drummer. I mean, you know, beyond yes, he's alive, but no, he actually... Sometimes the inadvertent sounds that spill into the other microphones sort of give it a richness, but let's not make all the decisions yet. So let's go and have a listen to his snare, because he likes a big sort of... That's a bit ping, ping, kipping, kipping. No, that's not going to cut it. So let's drop this EQ onto it, and then let's go into the options and pick a snare thing that's going to give it... That's a bit better. I'm not trying to get it perfect at this point. The first thing I want to do is I just want it to have some basic vibe, and then you'll start to tweak it as you go, because once again, by the time you actually start adding all these things together, every frequency of everything that you add starts to affect the other frequencies. All right, here we go. Let's see what we get now. So now what we've done is we've added acoustic snare. Still a bit pingy. Bing, bing, bing. That tone isn't brilliant. Boom, boom. Sort of got its own note in it. All right, let's have Yeah, I'm not convinced. All right, let's have a listen for snare. That's something else we've got. Give me a biting snare. So let's just do one of them. So which one's this? I'm affecting this one. Okay. So. Okay, I've completely got rid of the boing. But now it's just tap. And you see what a difference the EQing makes. So for example, I'll put it back to this one. Okay, so this is the bottom of the snare. So it doesn't have the boing in it at all. That's all right. All right, let's try a biting snare. Nah. That's all right. Okay, we're gonna go with that one. Let's go listen to the top part, because the top part seemed to have some boing in it. Let's see, boing. Okay, track 15. Let's have a look at you. What have we got on track 15? We have acoustic snare something. Acoustic snare body. All right, let's hear. So do we get the boing? Boing, boing. Yep, there it is. Boing. I think the boing is this. No boing. No woman, no boing. Okay, here we go. Let's try dubby snare. Oh God, that's as bad. Doing, doing. All right, let's try this one. Biting snare. Doing's less. All right. You see, if I was a really clever mixing engineer like Ben or AJ or someone, I'd just go, oh yeah, it's the 303 hertz in the mids. Yeah, you just fade it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to go hitting buttons until something sounds good. No, that sucks. That sucks. Okay, there we go. That's minimal, and it is actually, when I'm able to demonstrate the frequencies, it'll be easier, but as a matter of fact, it is actually the mid frequencies. How did I? Okay, so let's just put the snare top and the snare together. Let's see what we get. Okay, so it's kind of cracking without being too boing. All right, let's put the rest of the drums back in. Yeah, kaboof. All right, now one of the things that I find is, according to the new way of doing things, they're actually just sort of getting the drummer to wacko, and then they record the whack bits, and then they link it to a MIDI file so that they don't get the interference from the drums. Because when you're playing the drums and you've got 12 mics open, everything sort of bleeds, and it gives it a distinctive sound. But in particular for things like these cymbals, sometimes the cymbals wash in everything, and it makes it kind of harder to mix them. So let's have a listen to what we've got from the hi-hats. So as you can hear, if you just want to EQ one instrument, or sorry, one part of the drum kit, but the microphone's open because it's a live, real deal thing, you get all the other instruments, and then when you start EQing one, you start affecting the sound of the others, and that starts to get into dark voodoo. But that's what live stuff is. So if it's live, I'm not going to try to clean that out or to... No, I'm just going to take it as it is. Let's have a listen to the Smash mic. Yeah, what the heck, that's as much as I need to do. All right, let's put the percussion together and see what we get. Now, I'm not going to try to do all of this tonight in one session. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just getting some rough levels, and then I'm going to put it aside and then return to it tomorrow and start mixing it in earnest. So here we go. Let's put the bass and the drums together. Yeah. Yeah. And the snare's a bit too snappy now, but that's when we just drop the level a little. And I think we might put just a little bit of reverb on the whole bus just to see what it sounds like. Yep, too much reverb. Yeah, that's kind of nice. All right. Okay, so we're peaking a bit, which means it's running a bit too hot. So let's do what I usually do and whack everything. Let's go insert a new track. So what I'm effectively doing is I am laying out the mixing as if it was virtually the way they would do it in the 19 sort of, crikey, I guess the 1940s on to the late 2000s. Well, not late 2000s, the early 2000s really. Okay. Because back in the day when you had to physically route everything through everything else, you would go sort of through one tube into another tube, into another tube, into another tube, until it was all in one big bucket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that submaster down So every time you had a transfer between one pipe and another, so to speak, each one added a certain interference. And that's why things sound much cleaner and crisper today, is because they've got rid of all the interference. But our ears have sort of come to recognise some of the old artefact sounds as natural. That might change in the future. So what we're doing here is, in a way, we are emulating an old school thing with the new technology. All right, here we go. So let's put both of those back together. All right, cool. Now, normally, if I was mixing under other circumstances, I'd be putting the vocals in and trying to even out the vocals and the drums at this point, but I really don't like the vocals that I've done for this, so I'm not really too worried about them. So I guess what I might do to start with is, let's start listening to some of the guitars. All right, what have we got here? We have got a guide track. So this looks like this would have been Paul's original idea or something like that. So let's put her in. Okay, so it sounds like it was recorded through an amplifier. At the moment, we have got a very basic channel input on it again, which I don't strictly need because this has come out of a studio. If we're doing this directly through a digital interface, then putting the channel strip in makes sense. So I may go back and pull these channel strips out because they are redundant, but for the time being, let's just start with an EQ. So if it's already going through an amplifier, the amplifier is colouring the sound. So what do we hear? Nothing wrong with it. Sort of a not particularly bright in tone. So let's see what we can do about that. Let's give it just a little brighter a tone. So that's an electric guitar. Let's give it just a little, let's give it that and try this. So we're going to, for the techno nerds or the technical nerds, we're dropping the below 50 hertz off, dropping the mids out and upping the higher frequencies a little bit. We'll see what that sounds like. Yeah, it sounds a bit brighter. Okay, that'll do for now. We don't need to be perfect at this point. Let's just have a listen. Now let's go down to the next guitar thing. It looks to me like it's a reinforcement part. Okay, that's interesting. That sounds like Mr. Rosenthal, and it sounds like it's very cop show. I feel like somebody ought to be out there committing crime that we're solving here. Maybe I'm the one committing this sonic crime. Now, what's this one? This looks like a duplicate of the same thing. Oh, good, it's a harmony. Well, an octave. Okay, I'm going to mark these as both suspicious because I think this is a stylistic choice. So we got along a fair way on this. All right, now what's this next guitar? Nash. That sounds like it's a Nashville tuning, which would mean it is, once again, Mr. Rosenthal on an acoustic. Ooh, it sounds nice. Now that's quality engineering there from Ben Worsey at Everland Studios, kids. Yeah, that's nice. All right, so let's just give that a little bit of... I don't want to mess with this one too much. That's nice. Okay, so it's an acoustic guitar. Let's just... Acoustic. I want to give it a little tweak. Clarity, and yeah, that's cool. Now, actually, already, I think the level of reverb on it, which is just natural reverb, is all right. So I've now got a thing marked duplicate. Uh-oh, what's this one? All right, it's another figure. That sounds like Paul. Yeah, that's okay. I don't want to change the sound on that one's all right. Okay, and what's this one? Looks like another reinforcement. Yeah, this is the figure again, and I think this is one of the things. I'm going to move that up. Oops. I'm going to move that particular piece up alongside the other ones, which I think I'm going to get rid of to start with. Well, when I say get rid of, I mean I think that stuff's too much. All right, so now what we've got is we've got roughly the guitars, we've got a sound on the bass, we've got a sound on the drums, and of course we have the tuba. Yes, we have tuba. As in not like a taro root or something, but an actual freaking tuba. And I've got to go Google who it was that played, because I want to say Callie, and it could be Cassie. Here we go, tuba. It's the tuba bus. I don't even know where to go with EQing tuba, but I'll be Googling it shortly. All right, hang on. Okay, let's put in... All right. So we'll put in a bus master to start with, just so I can get some... The whole idea is to get a desk mix, just to sort of roughly get the song together and see what you've got. So in this case, let's give it some sort of orchestral EQing. Big brass warmer. Here we go, that'll do. This is going to be nuts. Whose idea? This was my... No, whose idea was this? All right. Let's try it. Oh, great. I swear to God, I want to go Charlie calling all cops. You know, it's this is just straight out of some sort of 70s something. All right, and then obviously I've gone mental and we've had a moment of the Beatles. Oh, this is great. What is it? Oh, my stars. Oh, that's adorable. This might... Who can tell whether it's genius or not genius? Like, really not the opposite of good. Oh, my. Oh, that's so cool. Boom, boom. All right, you guys rock. So let's just whack a little bit of reverb on that. Oh, it's like Babar decided to join the band. All right, here we go. Put a bit of verb on it. Put it in a room somewhere. Well, I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys, but if you're X or Mac, if you're sitting in your bed still recovering, could be worse. You could be doing this. All right, let's put this into empty lounge. Oh, I just put that on the guitar. That's not what I wanted at all. I wanted to put it on the tuba. So let's get rid of it from the guitar. All right, here we go. Yeah. Okay, you can hear the in-breath from an actual human playing there. Now, I can clean all that stuff out, and I may well do. I can use a gate, or I could just use a splitter, all sorts. We could do all sorts of things, but there's a thing that Mr. Wizard has said about Pro Toolsing the life out of it, where you take all the elements of the clicks and the noises and the mouth sounds, and sometimes it sounds a little sterile, so there's a balance to strike. So let's start with just here in this freaky section here. Now this seems to be, let's give that some sort of additional EQ because it's sort of a feature instrument at that point. So let's give that a let's give that going into orchestral mix settings. Let's give that a sax smoother. There we go. No, that's nasty as far out. Let's try this. Ooh, we have gone so jazz right now. The jazz gods are smiling upon us. Or not smiling, they might just be going, yeah, man, okay. Let's have a listen to that one. Let's try and find something that actually makes it not sound so woolly. Man, it sounds like a bumblebee got trapped in there. I mean, it's fabulous playing, don't get me wrong, but like, dang. Okay, this might not be one that I get right now. I might have to sit there and go through half a dozen things, but let's try. Oh man, that's I mean, it's both brilliant and it sounds like yogurt. If yogurt could play jazz. Oh God, help me. All right, let's try this one. Oh man, I need to find some top end in that because that's just a bunch of lower. Goodness me, I don't even know what I'm going to do to fix that one. All right, let's try this one. Oh, that is pretty cool. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to do this. Okay, duplicate the track. Turn it off, and then I'm going to put a synthesizer on it. Yeah, hell yeah. Vocal Synth Pro or something like that. Here we go. Now, this isn't going to work, but I'm not worried about whether it works. It's just that if I'm going to go freaky, let's really rock. Here we go. Give me something weird. So we've put... Here we go. Let's try this. Okay, no, that sucks even more. Let's try this one. Chicky boom. Okay, no, that was also equally awful. Okay, we are failing. It is not working, but that's all right. Let's keep trying. We've got some ideas here. No. No, that's interesting, but no. No, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get away from all the let's try something that... So we're putting it through a vocal synthesizer to see if the synthesizer can separate out some sounds. Okay, no, that's kind of still crap. All right, here we go. Let's try this. Well, I don't like it for this, but I like it. That's a trip. All right, cool. Let's try this. No. No. Okay, well, look, I think this has been an interesting adventure, but let's try monstrous. Alien modulation. No. No. Okay, that one's interesting. That's interesting. All right, so what we're going to do is let's put them together. This might be absolutely terrible. Okay, it is absolutely terrible. Let's try dropping that back. See if it will give me the edge so we can hear the edge of her notes. All right, where are we? We are track 25. 25, go down. Let's hear. Okay, no, that's just bloody awful. All right, so it was worth a try. Let's get rid of it. That was a no. All right, let's put it together. So the only thing we don't have in at the moment is now the vocals. So what I will do is I've pulled out some guitars here. So I think they're too much. I think what's happening is these guitars are flavouring it too much at this point. I think the Nashville's doing something really good though, but I think it might be too present too much. So I think it might need to be trimmed back. All right, but now what we've done is, just to recap, we've now put a rough EQing on all of the parts with the exception of the vocals. And I guess it'd be silly not to actually just add a little bit of the vocals while we're here. I just really don't like it. Normally the vocals are sort of the last thing you fix. Well, sort of. Depends on how the song's been built. If the song's been built from the ground up, I actually want nectar, not neutron. Here we go, bugger. See, sometimes the instruments want to make a hole for the vocal. Sometimes they need to go around the vocal. Sometimes, you really can't tell. They're all their own thing. Okay, here we go. Let's just give a standard creepy harmonic effect. I don't think I want that, but what the hell. Okay, so let's turn that on. Okay, and because I probably won't run this session too much longer now, but this just gives you a rough idea of the first things that I'm going to do. And then after this, after you start bedding it down, then you start sharing it with the rest of the gang and you say, okay, what are we going to do with it from here? And then by the time you've gone through that, then you tend to add, remove, and then eventually probably redo the vocals. Because remember, even at this point, it's not beyond us to completely junk things like the melody or the vocals or the lyrics. You just don't know. All right, here we go. So let's go back to the start. Zoom in a little bit. See if we can make it a little easier to see. All right. I like what that Nashville's doing, but I'm going to pull it back a bit. Okay, the vocal effect is ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking just then, but yeah, it's okay. Let's just go to music. How about really standard, normal, basic, modern processing? There we go. Let's just try that. Everybody knows and no one's talking about it. The fix is in. The fix is in. Everyone is gonna tell you about it. Okay, so that's what those reinforcement chords. Dom, bom, 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 bom. Let's try adding some of the reinforcement chords back in. What have we got? No. It's just too dominant. Bing, 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 bye-bye. And that Nashville's so strong. Gonna Oh. I was about to say, Mr. Wizard didn't like that part of the vocal because he wanted more melody in the thing, but the tuba. I love it. Oh, it's terrifying. I love it. I love it. It could be completely disastrous.
There ain't nothing you can do about it.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I'm going to put more reverb on that. I just don't know. I'm not sure about this. No wonder this did. I have full faith in this song.
Cry about it. There ain't nothing you can do about it.
No, I'm not. It's not my bag there. Not my bag there. So what we're going to do is, let's just drop that out for the time being. Yeah, let's just get rid of that from that spot. Okay, so I think the Nashville's real. That's really strong. So let's bring that down. Let's bring our bass up. What's our bass on? Crikey, our bass is already strong. It's interesting. Okay, let's try to bring the bass up. Okay, here we go. Let's see this one. See if we can bring that. Let's have a listen to the bass and the Nashville guitar together. So something's got to carry that ba-da-da-dum-bum, and the tube is too much. Well, it will be until I get some sort of EQing on it that actually gives it the notes as opposed to the kind of this brr, 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 mouthful of butter. All right, okay, all right, well, that'll do. Let's.
Everybody's gonna get a piece of the action. The fix is in. The fix is in. Guaranteed to get you satisfaction.
So I think Paul's guitar, this one's got to come up a lot. What's that? Alright. And I think it's got to get a bit of reverb on it too. Alright. Basic stuff. Let's see what we get now. Well, let's put some guitar in. That's quite nice. So that dinga dinga dinga, that finger picking stuff, I'm actually going to want to bring out in those sections. So let's have a listen. Ooh. That was a flub. Ah, now, behold the magic of the producer. Click. And we just get rid of it. So, boom. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I just need that. I'm going to turn the little snappy thing off. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to go snip. Snip. I'll drop that bit in here. Shh, don't tell the guitarist, they played it perfectly. Ha 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 ha! Couldn't even tell, huh? How good is that? This technology rocks. All right, let's put it together with Paul's other guitar. And you know what else? I think we need to pan this one. Do we? Where do we want this guitar? Do we want this guitar on the left of us, the right of us, or behind us? Or just in the mix, in the middle? Do we want it front? Do we want it back? Don't know. Let's just keep going. Boom, boom. Okay, now that's some intricate stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that bit out. And we're going to duplicate that. So what I'm doing is, for these bits which I think really need to be featured, I'm going to add them in twice, which increases how loud they appear to sound. Okay, so then I just cut out the next bits I don't need. Okay, so it's only there the once, but it'll get a real lift, and I guess I'll start it just a little earlier. So remember, at this point, I'm not really trying to... This is the sort of sketch part of the job rather than the fine-tuning. Okay, does he do that again anywhere else? Okay, cool. All right. So let's... All right. I'm going to call time on this fairly shortly because I think we're coming up towards an hour worth of exciting adventures in stereo recording. And as I get better at this, I'll probably even include a camera pointed at me, making the same faces that I'm making right now. All right, here we go. Let's start from the top, roll it through for a bit. And this is the way that it usually works. It's a bit like sanding. You sand your surfboard, and when you find a bump, you go back and you sort of fix. This tuba stuff though, man, that's tripping me out. But let's just roll with the tuba. Let's just let the brass be. Here we go. Let's see how far we get. Oh yeah. Adventures in stereo recording. Woo! Kick's a bit hot.
Everybody knows and no one's talking about it. The fix is in. The fix is in. Everyone is gonna tell you about it. So what you gonna do about it? Laugh about it. Cry about it. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Everybody's gonna get a piece of the action.
Something weird there in the drums. Like the snare's out of time.
Everybody's gonna get a piece of the action.
Something very weird. All right, let's just... Let's try a little earlier. Yeah, kashing. There's like a late repeat on the cymbal. That's what I was saying before. Sometimes the cymbal just turns up again. It's like, why are you here? Because I'm a cymbal. I'm everywhere. All right, let's see if that makes sense. Yeah, there's something in there. Okay, well, I'm not going to try and fix it now, but I will put a marker in here as suspect cymbal sounds. Something there. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
A piece of the action, the fix is in. The fix is in. Guaranteed to get you satisfaction.
Now, did you notice how much better that little diddle finger picky thingy sounds now? Because we've featured it, we've lifted it up. It makes sense. You hear it again. This.
The action, the fix is in. The fix is in. Guaranteed to get you satisfaction.
Oh, that's so cool.
All you gotta do is keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Come on now, you know you're only human.
Oh yeah, that tuba sound in the background is this flippity mouthful of butter thing. Maybe not so much on the yogurt, but let's just have a listen to that with that. Okay, I think I like that bit. Gesundheit. All right, this stuff is live. All right, here we go. That's kind of cool, except now what's happening is I've got the Nashville in here twice, so let's get rid of that. Otherwise, it's going to be too much. Might need to come back and also do more stuff to bring out the good groovy bits. All right, now, and there is my tuba bus. Okay, so here, let's just hear this with the elephants. Okay, so there is finger picking stuff through there, so I've got to put that back in so that I can. So where are we relative to our elephants? So the elephants start here, which means the finger picking will be around here. Let's just solo this. Okay, so I'm going to want to do that. Where's my... Okay.
Guaranteed to get you satisfaction. All you get.
Okay, so we'll cut from there. Come back in on the finger picky bit here. No, it all gets a bit messy there. So I think what I'll do is I'll do this and I will... Let's go have a listen to this. See, this has already been done by this track here. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm only looking to reinforce the finger picky bits, so finger picky bit started about here. Oh no, I think I missed it. let's try that again. Okay, it must have been earlier. Okay, let's go back. That's it. So let's just pick up on the phrase. Okay, now back to strummy. Okay, nothing I want to reinforce. So let's go back a little bit.
Guaranteed to get your satisfaction. All you gotta do is keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Come on now, you know you're only human.
All right, now we're coming up on the breakdown. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Bum, bum.
Hey brother, did you hear the commotion? The word is out. The word is out. All those careful plans are set in motion.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm telling you, you best remember who your friends are. Who your friends are. You know that we ain't going nowhere.
Yep, that's okay. All right, well, I still think these guitars are too much and they're too dominant of an idea, so we're going to pull those ones out. We're still going to need some reinforcement over those parts, but I think we need a different sound, and it looks like those sounds are baked in because they've been recorded through an amplifier. Well, I think that will do for this session of Adventures in Stereo Recording as I work up some new old stock. I'm looking forward to repeating this streaming kind of thing on the brand new songs which are in the greenhouse at the moment. Thank you very much for joining me, for your company, while we've been doing this exciting part of the job that other people don't always get to see, and look very much forward to having your company again in more adventures in stereo recording.